Hello and welcome to Arizona Trails to Philippine Tales. My name is Steve. Now, it's been a while since I've done a walk and talk, ever since I think maybe the state of Arizona, since I've done one. And today's topic is going to be a little bit different today. So actually what I'm going to be doing is doing a topic on Alright, so the topic that I'm going to be doing today is actually going to be about motorcycle safety. And what I want you to do is concentrate on, as we do this walk and talk, concentrate on the motorcycle drivers that go by. I want you to look at their helmets, their shirts, their pants, their shoes, and their motorcycle attire that they actually have out here in the Philippines. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk down this way to do this walk and talk, and again go ahead and just pay attention to the motorcycles as they pass by. Now, I had put on my, as you saw on the little thumbnail, me wearing a what would be considered the correct motorcycle gear and things of that nature. And everybody is here in the Philippines, actually, there's a majority of them ride motorcycles more than anything else. And what I put on the thumbnail was the full motorcycle gear of a helmet and you know, you have to have all the gear on as well, like elbow pads, knee pads, boots, and other things like that when you do ride. And so again, it's just some of the things that you need to do when you're in the Philippines. So now there is a law out here in the Philippines that says that it's called RA 10054. And that that Philippine law states that everyone needs to wear a helmet and all protective gear. And it's a nationwide law. Everybody should be wearing all their gear when they go out. And again, that includes helmet, gloves, elbow, knee pads, pants, and of course boots. But when you look at the motorcycles out here, do they actually follow that law? I mean, the law came in let's see, I think it was signed into law March 23rd of 2010. So the law has been on the books for the last 14 years. And you would think everybody knows the actual law. Also look for any license plates and things like that. As well on the bikes, see if they're registered or not, or if there is a motorcycle plate on the back of the bike. Also pay attention to how many people are on a bike and all the safety measures there. And so this law has been on the books for 14 years, and you would think that everybody in the Philippines would be in compliance with that rule and regulation. Now, me personally, this video is actually inspired by a commenter that in my last video did say that you know, you should be wearing your helmet. You know, there's no excuse for not wearing one. But here in the Philippines, I gave him a long list of not so much excuses, but as just regular generalizations on why we even want to follow laws or things that the government puts out for us to obey and follow and things of that nature. Now, here in the Philippines, of course, you know, things are a little bit different. Well, I take that back, not so much different. I mean, let's take a look at the United States. I told this commenter that, I told him that, when I lived in the state of Indiana, there was no motorcycle helmet rule, universal rule, since 1977. And I also said that when I moved to the state of Arizona, they also didn't have a helmet law unless you were under the age of 18, and then you needed a helmet. So there are states in the United States that realize that there's just different laws for society. Now, when you think about the laws that are created by governments, I like to live free. And I think in America, we have come to understand, or actually I would say misinterpret or misunderstand, and it is by design, the difference of liberty and freedom. And so there is a difference between liberty and freedom. So, and what do I mean by that? Well, let's go back to Patrick Henry, who was a government employee, worked for the government, and his famous speech, and let's break it down line by line, is gentlemen may cry peace, peace, but there is no peace. Now, that is a 100% absolute blanket of truth. There is no denying that statement. That is absolute 100% truth. As a government official, and the governments realize that there is no peace among its citizenry. And that's the generalization of it. If you understand that piece right there, then you understand the reason why the government does what they do. Now, the next line of Patrick Henry's speech says, "Is life so dear, or peace so sweet?" And he's acknowledging peacetime, and he's acknowledging life in general. But he says, has to be purchased by the price of chains and slavery. So imagine this. This is the government and how they actually think, and says that it is a windy day and it is blowing my umbrella. Let me hold this a little bit tighter here. All right, so trying to keep the sun out of the camera a little bit. All right, so again, is life so dear, or peace so sweet as to be purchased by the price of chains and slavery? Now, that meant that there was a fundamental understanding that the only way to control the people, because there is no peace, is to absolutely state that you have to have some kind of economic slavery and bondage in order to get the people compliancy through economics. So he said that the only way to have some sort of or some type of peace, of course, is to have bondage and slavery. And then he actually cries out as a man. As a man, he says, "Forbid it, Almighty God." He says, "Forbid it, Almighty God." He doesn't want people to be enslaved or in bondage. But as a government official, knowing that there is no peace, even though people cry out for it, there is no peace. But he doesn't want slavery or bondage. But as a government official, he realizes, and he goes on to says, "I know not what course others may take, which is a hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that not everybody will follow the rules or the laws of bondage and slavery. So that is the reason why that line is put in. Good morning. And then, so he says, I know not what course others may take. And so he's sitting there saying that, yes, people might not choose to follow the rules or the regulations. And then this is the ultimate government cry. And this is what the governments believe. The governments believe that, slavery and bondage. It says, I know not what course others may take, but give me liberty or give me death. That means the government would rather liberate everyone. And what is liberation? You would think that it is the freedom from bondage or slavery, to be liberated from something. Well, let's give a couple examples where that's really not the case. To be liberated. The left-wing woke crowd uses liberated quite a lot. Especially in this last selection, they said that in this last election, they were so fearful of the selectee that they were in fear of their lives. And I'm not going to go to Thanksgiving dinner and be with my family because I know they voted for that person, and I feel liberated that I did such a thing. Now, that's their form of liberation. Me, I also served in the military. I liberated lots of people in different countries as their cities turned to dust and rubble. So yes, I did my fair share of liberation as well. So, does liberty equate to true freedom? No, it does not. Liberty is a belief system that says that even though you are enslaved and bondage. Hello, sir. Even though there's slavery and bondage, that will give you some freedoms, or give you the illusion of freedom, so that way you believe that it's for your own good, or in a lot of cases nowadays, for your safety. Now, I think it was Ronald Reagan who said it best, who said that the most dangerous words that you'll ever hear is if someone knocks on the door. Hey, shout out, shout out. So that's what they entail here. Ronald Reagan said says the most dangerous words is if someone knocks on the door and says we are the government and we're here to help you. You should really be running. You should be running away, knowing that the government tells you that they're helping you for your own good, your own safety. Yet we all know tragedy always happens when they interfere. So again, like I said, Philippine law, and again, RA 10054 states that every Filipino should be wearing helmet motorcycle gear, safety gear, which is, of course, is helmet, gloves, and other things here. I'm gonna go ahead and go right here. Now I'm just gonna let you look at the traffic and the motorcycles. Again, pay attention to all the motorcycles that are around, and I want you to understand that when people go by and trucks and motorcycles and things like that goes by, are they following RA 10054? Now, of course, I want you to see, as the cars go by and the motorcycles go by, everyone should look like my thumbnail. They should be looking like they're ready for a snowmobile suit, and they should be ready to go. But again, pay attention to their clothing, pay attention to their helmets, pay attention to their safety, pay attention to what they actually are loading on their motorcycles. See, this video just isn't about motorcycle safety. It's about the difference between liberty and the difference between liberty and freedom. I mean, that's really what the difference is. Even some of the helmets that people have, if you notice, are bicycle helmets. And sometimes the bicycle helmet is not even strapped. See, there goes a dog running across the street before motorcycles show up. But again, that's what this is all about. 14 years the law says that every single Filipino who's riding a motorcycle needs to be wearing a helmet, including their passengers. And see, that was an unbuckled bicycle helmet. And they need to be riding those, and actually needs to be wearing their motorcycle gear. Now, sometimes, like me, when I know that I'm going to a city far away, like when I drive down to Ormoc, I know that I'm going to need at least a helmet and gloves, but I'm still wearing shorts. I'm not wearing flip-flops, but I am wearing gear that if I was to hit the pavement, I am going to get scratched. I am going to bleed. But again, we'll definitely see how, boy, this wind is so strong. So definitely, just to take a look at all the traffic and motorcycles and things of that nature. Boy, this wind is so strong. But at least you can sort of see flip-flops, maybe a helmet, maybe a real helmet on what's going on. But other times, they got a load, no helmet. See, no helmet, flip-flops, gear. But for whatever reason, they're not obeying the law that's been on the books for 14 years. 14 years of a law. And so anyways, I really want to thank the commenter that did say, hey, where's your helmet? I understand it. I think I was going to put in a picture of me when I was younger on my Honda Matic, 1980 Honda Matic 400cc, with and without a helmet when I was younger. So I've been riding a motorcycle for a long time. And we'll definitely see see what's taking place. Anyways, this is just a short video I wanted to do just to let you look at the traffic, look at the motorcycles, look at the law, and ask yourself, even in America, what it means to be liberated. Even the Statue of Liberty, again, liberty, has a chain around their feet. So just remember that the bonds of chains of slavery is in every government around the world. And I want you to understand or know, the difference between liberty and true freedom. So here in the Philippines, and this is what I said in my last video about even having no lights or stop signs, and how people all understand the rules of the road and does what they need to do in order to survive. Definitely, that is what I want you to look at. True freedom here in the Philippines is getting up in the morning, knowing that you have to go down to the market to get some food, to just live life. I mean, we can even go back to the early days. I mean, I know, what did we started riding first? I know everybody wants to say dinosaurs, but let's reel it back a little bit and talk about horses. Now, a horse can run 40 miles an hour with horse can run about 40 miles an hour with a person on its back. And in early Europe, we had, of course, knights that wore armor and steel helmets. But that's because, one, they were warriors, and two, they did a thing called jousting. I mean, imagine that conversation. Hey, Bob, that was a good one. I flew 10 feet off of my horse. Thank goodness I was wearing that armor to protect me as I flew off the horse. But also, if I didn't have the armor, I think you would have stuck me with the stick. Or if we go back into American history too, the Native American Indians, they rode horses. They were warriors, but they rode horses bareback. And it took the cavalry to come in there and liberate the Indians and tell them you're free. And I'm sure in today's society they appreciate that. They appreciate that liberation. So of course, that is what it's all about here. So again, I hope you paid attention to the everyday life. And I think another thing that I wanted to talk about is, and I've talked about it in a previous video, Filipinos have a word out here called mabuhay. Mabuhay means to live, just to live and enjoy life. Now, in my male line of my ancestors, before surnames were given, we was known as the Vorde. And Vorde is Vorde is also a word. It's old Germanic and Norse, and Vorde means to become, or to become, to exist. And in a way, that also means mabuhay, to live. We all exist in this world. We all try to survive. And when government, whether they're federal or local or state or whatever the case may be, when they try to tell you what is for your own good, for safety concerns and things of that nature, that's a dangerous and slippery slope. It is a way to be liberated. It's a way to be liberated. Not necessarily free, but to be liberated. And whether or not that still means the bonds of chains and slavery, I know not what course others may take. Which means, again, you have the freedom to make your own choices, to make your own decisions based on life. And that's what makes culture. Culture is set by those societal norms that allows us to have a society and allows us to live. And again, these people, they need to go to work, they need to go to the markets, they need to buy food, and that's what everybody does on planet Earth. So again, great motorcycle video for motorcycle safety here in the Philippines, but I hope you realize that it's more than just a safety video. And I thank you for joining Arizona Trails, the Philippine Tales. My name is Steve, and have a wonderful and free day. Mabuhay and be Vorde. All right, bye-bye.